It's GameCube Index, and it's time to live, earn, burn. Extreme G3 is the third entry into the Extreme G series, which started on the Nintendo 64. After two releases on that platform, developer Acclaim Cheltenham brought the series to the Nintendo GameCube on November 27, 2001. Acclaim Cheltenham had already released one title on the platform, Day 1 release Crazy Taxi, and they were responsible for the first two titles, so the series made the jump to next gen while in some familiar hands. It's a motorcycle racing game, and if you're not up to speed, get it, speed, on the storyline, here's the elevator pitch. It's the 23rd century, and the greatest pastime is the Extreme G Racing League, a motorcycle racing league founded at the end of the 22nd century. Prospective racers are signed to one of 6 teams: the science-focused Palace, the glory-hungry Phase 1, the glamorous Terra Nova, the profit-based Talon, the female-only Vixen, and the only unlockable team, the privately funded Starcom. Each team has its own color and attitude towards the sport. Players are tasked with competing in 4 leagues at 4 different speed categories, with average speeds clocking in at over 300 miles per hour. If the player can pass 700 miles per hour, they break the sound barrier and all audio cuts out for a brief period of time. In addition to a variety of teams to select, there are also 11 different weapons available for purchase using the currency won from winning races. These weapons range from a minigun, to rockets, to mines, to mortars, to even a railgun. Ammo is replenished by driving in special recharge pit lanes. There are also 4 bike upgrades consisting of things like shield boosts and ammo boosts, which can also be purchased. This game is tough. Each race starts you in last place, and you then need to catch up. This isn't as easy of a task as it is in, say, Mario Kart, where the racers are generally clustered together. It takes a long time to catch up to even one other racer, let alone the 11 that are in front of you. Thankfully, there is a boost option that can be utilized to get the extra burst of speed and blow past opponents, as well as the ability to slow them down using your weapons. After playing the first track, I wasn't too impressed. The level design seemed simplistic, with only a few large turns, and nothing else to really give any type of challenge. However, I'm happy to say that the levels only got more interesting from there, with more than one track making me audibly say, wow. As the game leans pretty heavily on the 23rd century pitch, I couldn't help but compare it to San Francisco Rush 2049. It definitely feels like an arcade game at times, and would probably have done well had it been released as a cabinet with a motorcycle seat. Extreme G3 was followed by one more title into the series, XGRA Extreme G Racing Association, which we'll discuss in a future GCNdex episode. Acclaim Cheltenham would go on to develop 2 more unrelated driving games for the GameCube before declaring bankruptcy in 2004. The Extreme G license is now held by Throwback Entertainment. It may be a defunct series, but at the beginning of the GameCube's life cycle, Extreme G3 was a solid racer for the player that wanted to live in the future and ride motorcycles. That's it for this week's episode of GameCube Index. Please continue to show your support by subscribing, sharing, following along on Twitter at GCNdex, and visiting GCNdex.com. Tune in next time when we carve our way down the mountain with style in SSX Tricky.